Okay, two shows this week, one of the Orville and one of Discovery. Being on Valentine's Day when they aired, they both speak of love in different ways from each other, but in ways that are complicated. And so it is with Discovery, we'll talk about in just a second. Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd, and Saints of Imperfection is the Discovery episode for this week, and in that we come back to where we left off at the last episode, where Tilly is taken prisoner by the spores that have morphed into this looks like death gel. And it covers her completely over, and they try to go in after her and can't find her. That's where they leave it. Meantime, the Discovery is in pursuit of Spock in a shuttle, and they have gone maximum warp to catch up with it, and they're now chasing after it. Anything that I say after this, by the way, can have spoilers, so if you have not seen the show yet, go watch the show and then come back and watch this, because I'm not certain that I can describe this in a way that would do it justice without telling you some of what happened here. First of all, we see the former emperor of the Terran Empire, Giorgio, who is still masquerading as the captain and flying aboard the Section 31 ship. And we find out from this that the captain of this ship is a friend of Pike. Well, you know, it's a one big happy fleet, as Khan said in Star Trek II. So it's something that we have people who are at least acquainted with each other. Pike knew of Giorgio, met her a long time ago. He knew the captain of the Section 31 ship. Apparently, they were closer friends. And there is a wedge drawn between everybody in this, because Section 31 is a top secret kind of thing. When secrets are kept, trust is kind of put on a back burner. And Burnham can't tell Pike what she knows about Giorgio. Everybody thinks that she's the captain that somehow they rescued from the Klingons when the real Giorgio died, and she brought her back. So Pike is obviously aware that that's not telling him the whole truth, and it drives a wedge of trust between them. And she says, just trust me. And you know, sometimes when you say just trust me, it kind of makes you think, well, you know, something's being held back. There were a number of signals that she kind of clunkily let go of that alerted Pike to that. We also bring in Ash Tyler again, who has been placed on Discovery as a liaison, and he's not trusted by anybody on the bridge at this point. Burnham appears to be his only friend, really, and even that is kind of at arm's length, because she doesn't know, first of all, why he left Kronos, and he's not telling her because of classified. So a lot of tension is built here. So with that, we have the search for Spock continuing, and we have a search for Tilly. And through the genius of Stamets, they are able to figure out probably what happened to Tilly and probably what to do about it. Although how they expected to get her, except for the fact that they read the last page of the script, I don't know. Be that as it may, in order to save one crew member, and this is something that has been through every series of Star Trek, you risk the entire ship to save one crew member, be it the captain, be it a bridge officer, be it a cadet, or in this case, a talkative ensign. We have everybody deciding that they are going to risk their lives to go after her in no certain idea that she's even still alive. And so they take the risk, and at the same time, on the other side, as any good officer does, you have to find a way to try to get away from the situation that you're in. And this is also, you know, standard Star Trek lore. You have a person who gets captured, they try to get away. You have the ship that tries to save them under great risk, and they meet in the middle. And that's kind of how this happened. So not giving too much away to say that Tilly got back okay, because, I mean, you know, what were they going to do? They were going to take one of the above the title stars and then say, okay, we kill them off. That happens sometimes in some shows, but not usually in Trek. They weren't going to let her die. She was too important a character to what they're trying to do, which is to kind of put her in the position of any one of us that might be on the ship. They always have to have one person that does that. That was what Wesley Crusher was supposed to do, and all he did was annoy people, and Tilly actually annoys a lot of people too, me sometimes. But somebody has to take the place of us that's new to this, that still has the wonder of all of this. And in doing so, that character is necessary. There's a lot of things going on at once, as there have been in Discovery episodes. We have the needing to trust the Section 31 people. We bring back the Admiral, by the way, who has trying to make peace between Pike and Section 31, saying, you know, we know you don't like these secret operations and things like that, but, you know, it's easy to just be the good guy all the time, and sometimes you have to do bad things in order to get the job done. And so there is kind of a grudging truce between them, and we see before the end of the episode that pretty much everybody is good guys. I'm not so certain about Giorgio, but she has some great lines in there, and great attitude, even on her straight lines. You can just see the evil pouring out of her, and that's kind of fun to watch. To put it in a nutshell, Burnham was just not having a good day, at least not for most of the episode, and neither was Tilly. The identity of the monster might have been easy enough to figure out from early on, but how it was going to end gave you the impression that maybe this was going to be another one of those kind of things that miracles don't happen. And in a show like Trek, miracles have to happen in order to keep this upbeat view of the world that our characters live in. And I think that's another effort that the producers are making to try to pull this more into the tone of what Star Trek has always been. And I think it's a good effort on that. So I'd like to know what you think about this. Please let me know in the comments. Also, subscribe and click the bell and all the stuff that you need to do to make sure that you don't miss the next video. We have some other ideas that we want to talk about, and some things I've been putting off because it just keeps getting too interesting around here. So I hope that I hope that you'll communicate with me. In the meantime, don't go far.